Hey guys, it's Rowan here from Art of Smart TV. The transition from Year 11 to Year 12 can be a challenging one because all of a sudden everything counts. But is that transition from Year 11 to Year 12 as hard as everybody makes out? Is it as challenging and as difficult? We've gone and spoken to Year 12 students to ask them what the transition from Year 11 to Year 12 is actually like. So let's find out what they have to say.
The workload, it was a big shock to the system. It was, everyone kind of told me about it before we went in, but it was a bigger shock than I expected.
If you wouldn't do the work in Year 11, you'd fall like you'd get in trouble, but you wouldn't really. Your marks might not be great, but you wouldn't have trouble learning more. In Year 12, if you fall behind in things, you have trouble learning the next day, and then the day after that, you can't do it. Especially in maths and that, if you don't do one topic, then the next day you can't do the topic where you're building on top of it. You just can't work out how to do it. So everything gets pushed out of whack. And so that was the main difference for me in Year 12 was if you didn't put the work in, everything just got exponentially harder on from it.
I think the workload was pretty much the same. So you were still doing a lot of the work that you were doing at Year 11, except there was a lot more, it was more condensed now.
The only thing that changed from Year 11 to 12 was the stress, because I put a lot more pressure on myself than I did in Year 11.
I was expecting that it was going to be harder, but I didn't realize how much additional work I had to do to stay on top and compete, especially because it's all about rankings.
Well, transition's a little scary just because suddenly everything counts, and I mean the workload doesn't increase a huge amount just because you get prepared for this really well, and in Year 11 they try to make everything as close to Year 12 as possible so that you're not really shocked.
Change from Year 11 to 12 wasn't actually that bad from term 3 of Year 11 into term 4 of Year 12, even though I did 14 units going into that term. But I found after the summer holidays, that's when it really turned into the hard stuff, and that was when it really upped in the ante on the workload.
It's also serious. It's like in Year 11 it's okay because it doesn't count, but Year 12 you're really you're not eased into the deep end. You're thrown in. You don't know how to swim yet.
I think you sort of had more commitments as a Year 12 student, so having to run the school and stuff like that. So I think having to keep on top of that as well as the workload.
It's just kind of a mindset change, I guess. So from Year 11 to Year 12, it suddenly goes from I don't really have to do this to I really should if I want to get a good ATAR.
I think there was definitely more expectations. There was a line you sort of had to step up to, but it was sort of more enjoyable because you could see what you were getting out of it, even if at times it was a lot harder than you were expecting it to be or more challenging.
Kind of start to develop a better relationship with your teachers. It's not really their teachers and you're a student. It becomes they're actually really motivated and they really want you to succeed, and they'll put the time in, but only if you put the effort in yourself.
But overall, I think it was almost better in Year 12 than Year 11. Year 11's almost just sort of like a practice run. You're just sort of cruising along a little bit, even though the work's a bit harder. But Year 12, it's more like the real thing, and you're learning more and you're doing more things.
So there you've heard it. The transition from Year 11 to Year 12 from Year 12 students. For some, it was overwhelming. It was being thrown into the deep end, and for others, they were well prepared for the transition. Either way, if you feel like you need more support in this journey, get in touch with us. We've got an incredible team of teachers, tutors and mentors who can work with you to mentor and support you, to help you consolidate your Year 11 material, to help you get ahead for Year 12 and to put in a rock solid study routine. Additionally, stay tuned for part 2 of this video where we ask Year 12 students what they wish they did differently when they transitioned from Year 11 into Year 12. Finally, if you've got any comments or questions, leave a question in the comments below. We'd love to help you as you journey from Year 11 to Year 12 and then beyond.